Hey there, Mackenzie here. I hope that 2022 is treating all of you well so far. I originally filmed a lot of this video in early January, but when editing the footage, I realized I didn't really like the way I filmed what would have been the opening to this video. I was really red in the face and out of breath for some reason, and my explanation was really messy, so this is me filming a proper opening. Every year between the last week of December and the first week of January, I do a deep clean, reorganize, declutter of my space. This year I'm doing things a little bit differently, and instead of cleaning for like 2 or 3 days straight to get it all done at once, I'm going to be spreading it out and taking it on in parts. I tend to try to do too much at once, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to complete a large task in a small span of time, and one of my goals for 2022 is to try to do less of that. So this is going to be a great exercise in taking my time, breaking things up and doing them in small parts, and focus on getting the task done rather than worrying about how long it took me or whether I started it soon enough or not, etc. So that said, let's move on to the rest of the video. So today I'm going to start with that dresser over there. I'm going to remove all the clothes, I'm going to wipe it out, clean all the inside, put all the clothes back, and maybe hopefully reorganize everything so that it fits better, because right now I'm having a hard time getting everything to fit. When cleaning, I always start by dusting off the furniture with a microfiber cloth, then go in with a homemade vinegar water solution and a J-cloth to clean. I'll be doing this for every piece of furniture from here on out. I decided to get those piled up boxes put away while my dresser airs out and dries. This basically involves putting boxes inside of boxes, inside of boxes, inside of boxes, inside of boxes, and then playing a weird real-life game of box Tetris to get them all to fit nicely. For those of you who are viewing a video of mine for the first time, I promise this isn't a weird box hoarding situation. I find keeping boxes really useful as I can reuse them for packing art, gifts, Poshmark items, etc. So my dresser is nice and clean, which is good. And then I organized the boxes, put them away into my shelf, so now they're not taking up all that space over there. And I think it was a pretty productive day. I'm gonna go paint and do the rest of the stuff that I wanted to do today. And tomorrow I'll clean something else. Good morning. Today we are going to be tackling the bookshelf. I have not cleaned the bookshelf off since maybe April was the last time I actually took everything off my shelf, cleaned it all down, and put everything back and reorganized it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I have a really hard time finding a setup that I like for my bookshelf. There's a lot of different aesthetics going on among the items I have displayed, and some of them clash a little bit, whether color or style-wise. Some items have a cute and feminine aesthetic with pretty pastel colors, and others are more antique vintage and have a darker tone to them. Having different vibes together on the same shelf makes it look a little messy and disorganized no matter how I place them, but I've grown to just accept that for now, as I like each piece enough to keep them, and I'm not really in a place to redecorate with new decor items that would be more cohesive. Okay, I think I'm satisfied with that. These are all important things I wanted to keep. like easily accessible. And then those are all old journals and bullet journals that can go packed away when I clean up my closet. So I'm gonna set those aside. So I have this drawer down here that's filled with mostly electronic stuff. I know it doesn't look like I'm really organizing much, but there's a method to what looks like me just moving stuff around. I'm taking inventory of what I have, and it's really important as I often forget what I have and don't have, like right now. Are you fucking for real? Oh, I forgot I had those. This drawer is always pretty tough to do, is finding a way to make it all fit nicely while having everything still be easily accessible is a bit of a challenge. I also got a few new things for Christmas, so I had to find a way to make more fit into it than what originally came out. So we are done for today. I'm really happy to finally have one more piece of my room clean and done, and especially that electronics drawer. It was a little overwhelming for quite a while, so I'm happy I finally got that sorted and threw out a couple of things I don't need. I had a few things that I have to like put elsewhere, but because I haven't cleaned those areas yet, I'm just sort of like putting things in random other locations that I don't know what to do with in the meantime, which is pretty much my style of cleaning, basically, of just moving things, certain items around the room into different locations while I tackle different areas, and eventually they find a place, but in the meantime they're just like traveling around my room. Good morning. For today we're going to be cleaning out my cabinet. So today I'm going to be repeating the process as I did yesterday with my bookshelf. I'll be taking everything off of the cabinet, cleaning the cabinet, reorganizing everything, and then putting it back. The organizing part of cleaning is and always has been my favorite. Making things neat and separated by function or color or whatever is something I really love doing and is so incredibly satisfying. This took a long while to do as it took a bit for me to find a way of organizing stuff that worked and fit well, but the process is always worth the later ease and convenience of the result. I've been meaning to replace the baskets with ones that are cuter and more feminine and designed to better fit my room, but it's never made sense to spend the money, and I've just never done it. To finish off, I put away a few of Shorty's things that I found in my cabinet until I can figure out how I'll be storing them. Threw out several things I decided to go. Added to my pile of to figure outs. And gave back all the claw clips I accidentally stole from my mom. Good morning. It's a very snowy, crappy day outside, so kind of a perfect day for cleaning. So today we're going to be tackling my desk, my side drawer, and then also cleaning my mirror and my windows. The one thing I hate about this desk is the fact that it's an IKEA desk, so it's not like I don't even think it's wood. It's like, I don't know what it's called that they use to make their furniture, but it's wood, but it's like a cheap, anyway. You can see that like over the years I've ended up with scuffs. I don't even know what this is on here. Chips and little scuffs and stuff that once you get these on here, scratches and stuff, you can't get it off. White desks start to look really shitty really quickly once they've been scuffed. I have thought of painting my desk a few times, but my mom explained to me that because it's like a plastic coating that they put over top of it, you can try to paint it, but it's more likely to chip as it can't stick to the desk. Another USB? You can't sand it down either, again, because of that weird cheap plastic coating stuff, so it's a real pain in the ass. I went through my pile of papers and magazines and such that were collecting on or in my desk and put away what I was keeping and threw away what could go. I also put aside a few items that will be going away into storage when I get around to my closet later this week. Moving on to my side drawer. It's a mess in here. I don't know if this desk is from IKEA, but it's made similarly to my IKEA pieces, and as you can see, is very scuffed and damaged. Just like with my desk, I'd like to paint it, but I don't know if it's worth doing, and so I've just kind of never done it. March 2022. Yeah, those are expired. If I don't have things in front of me, I'll forget about them. I don't know if that's an ADHD thing or if that's just me, but like my vitamins and stuff, if they're not sitting on my side table because I see them every day, I won't think to take them. And again, my iron has been sitting on the side table every day, and every day I forget to take it, even though I take my multivitamin, which is right next to my iron. So like I should see one and then see the other, and you'd think it would clue in, but it never does. And I take one of these and I forget to take one of those. So maybe it doesn't truly matter, but I don't know. I don't like having all the clutter on my side table, but I also don't want to forget to take my stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit. Maybe I won't forget. It wasn't fine. I did forget, so. I hate cleaning this mirror because it's only hanging from the wall by a string, and so it moves around and just smashes against the wall constantly. I typically don't really deep clean my windows, especially on a day like today where it's snowy and it's really freaking cold outside, so I am not opening my windows. But the problem with my windows is that they're just above ground and they're right in front of my mom's front gardens. So all the dirt gets in the windows and it's pretty much pointless to clean it out because I've done that before and then it just gets dirty again, like very quickly. So it just kind of makes no sense. Plus, like they're double pane windows. So like there's two pieces of glass and like the dirt and the stuff is like inside the glass. Like I don't even know how it gets there. I've never touched inside there. Why is there fingerprints in there? Like I don't understand, but there is and I can't get it out. So I'm cleaning the outside of my windows and I can clean the inside of my windows, but they're always gonna have like these like scuffs and bits of dirt and stuff, and it drives me nuts. So when I say clean my windows, I mean clean like around my windows and clean the inside of the window is what I'm going to be doing, but I'm not going to be cleaning the tracks and such. Because honestly, there's no point in doing it because it's just gonna get freaking filthy all over again. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just not that invested in this. I know it sounds awful, but I'm not that invested in deep cleaning my windows. I prefer to do that in spring because the weather's warmer and I can actually have the window open, which can then let me clean the inside of the tracks and such. It's like I'm so close to having it like completely cleaned. So today is a lovely sunny Friday. I'm so excited. I love the sun. I love the sunny days. And it's the perfect day. It's the perfect weather for cleaning out my closet, which is probably the largest task on the list this week and why I kind of left it until as like the last thing to do. Now it's time to make my way through all this. I'm kind of a hoarder, a little bit. Not like to an extreme, like I'm a neat hoarder, I guess. So sentimental hoarder. Cards. I used to keep every single Christmas card that I received, to the point that when I was like 18 and I was going through all my memory boxes, I realized that like I had like an astronomical amount of Christmas cards and Valentine's Day cards from like classmates, but they didn't sign their names. Like I had no idea who gave this to me, or I didn't really remember them very well. Like I don't know, I kept everything growing up. This one I'm definitely keeping from my nanny. I keep most cards from my nanny. That one, I'm gonna have to get a new box. Every like year there's a new batch of things that I'm ready to get rid of, but I have to hit that point where I'm ready, or I feel like really bad. At least, well, short term anyway. I think I'd feel probably fine long term, but I made this in high school out of a CD for a fashion project, and I had her wear it, and I ended up taking a picture and painted it. I meant to do another small painting of Shorty before she passed, and I ended up running out of time. If it weren't for my mom being the type of person that just purges like 50% of her personal belongings every year, and then subsequently my personal belongings every year when I was a kid, I would still have every single stuffed animal. I'd probably still have all my Barbies. I'd probably still have kept pretty much everything if she hadn't just like basically gotten rid of them without my permission. So yeah, it's fine. I feel like I'm getting better as I get older. I'm getting better at getting rid of stuff. I'm getting better at being like, do I really need this? Am I really gonna need this? Now it's small enough I can chew it. You know, every year there's like a new batch of stuff that I can tell myself I don't really need this, especially 2020, because I really thought I was moving to Japan in 2020. I did a massive purge of my room. I need another box. It was like a 4-day cleaning bonanza. I just went through like my entire room and deep cleaned and decluttered and got rid of like a couple garbage bags worth of things. I knew that if I was moving to Japan I couldn't keep a lot of this, so it was important for me to get rid of everything, and I had to really be harsh with myself. But the thing is that I didn't end up moving to Japan. It's a lot easier to get rid of things like out with the old if there's in with the new very quickly. So I ended up going and just tidying up the space a little more after I put everything away. And I got a lot of stuff that was in those like mini, like not sure what to do with this piles. I did get a lot of it put away, and then the rest I just kind of like compiled into this one pile over here. So now instead of having like 3 or 4 piles, I have just one over here. I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. So today I'm feeling a little less energetic because I had a really rough night last night, and today we're going to be tackling my floors and my baseboards. So since Shorty passed, I kind of figured that I would have less to clean, and I guess part of that was that I just didn't really feel like cleaning anything, and the other part of it was that I didn't think I would have to as often. And then also not being down here as frequently anymore. I was spending several weeks just pretty much upstairs. I was only sleeping down here. So I was only really down here during the darker periods of time, very early morning and in the evening. And so I wasn't really like paying attention to how much dust and dust bunnies and hair and everything were just kind of like piling up. And it doesn't help that a lot of it ends up in the like underneath stuff and things like that, so I wasn't seeing it. But recently I spent a few days in my room doing things down here, and I, you know, on the more sunnier days it became kind of obvious. And typically I would sweep my room and then I would vacuum up that pile that is there. And the reason I do this is because our vacuum, the bottom part of the vacuum doesn't work on non-carpeted flooring. It's like, it doesn't matter what setting you have it on, it just does not suck up anything. It just kind of like drags it, pushes it around the room. So we have to use the hose thing that you're supposed to use to get like in corners and such, we have to use just that. That is the part of the vacuum that works the best on non-carpeted flooring. So it makes it a lot easier when everything has been swept up into one space and that I know I've gotten everything. But in this case, I have so many like massive amounts of dust bunnies that it's gonna be kind of a hassle getting to sweep them. So I think I'm gonna go over with the vacuum to start, and then I'm going to then sweep up all the small stuff that I couldn't get with the vacuum, I couldn't see on my floor, and then I'll vacuum up that little bit and we'll go from there. I've been really excited about doing the floors. Typically when I clean my room all in one go, the floors are always the last thing, because when you're dusting and when you're cleaning things, like dust is falling onto the floor, things are falling onto the floor, and so it's easier to just finish it off by just cleaning the floors afterwards. And so because I was doing things in parts, I was having to wait to clean my floors because I didn't want to clean my floors and then have to clean them again later. I wanted to do it all at once. When I decided I would do things in bits, I didn't think about the fact that then my floor is gonna have to wait a whole week to get cleaned, and it was bothering me the entire week. When originally doing my talking bit, I said a bunch of stuff about removing all the items from my furniture before moving them because I wouldn't be able to move them easily otherwise, but just like with my windows, I ended up doing exactly what I didn't plan on doing and moved them with almost everything on them just fine, without breaking anything or tipping over any tall furniture. So that took longer than expected, but now that the floors are done, the baseboards are clean, I probably could have gone in with like a Mr. Clean Magic Wipe just to get them even cleaner, but I just don't have the energy today. And this was a lot of work. Like I'm sweating. This was a lot. So, but yeah, I'm really satisfied with what I got done today. I'm so happy with the floors. I'm happy that they're clean and that there's no more hair and dust piling up everywhere. It feels so good to have a clean floor and to have one more piece of my room deep cleaned and done. It's like every day my room just feels just that little bit cleaner, and it's a really great feeling. We've finally arrived to Sunday. It's the last day of my big clean. Now that I've done all the big parts of my room and you know, cleaned out things, reorganized things, deep cleaned the floors, now that I've done all of that, it's time to do some of the last remaining bits of things. So today I'm going to start off by getting all of the sheets and all the bedding off of my bed and get that in the laundry room. And then I'll be cleaning the bathroom, which is technically not my bathroom. It's like just the second bathroom in the house, but I use it the most frequently, so I clean it myself. You're probably thinking to yourself, Mackenzie, why the fuck are you cleaning that toilet with your bare hands? And you'd be right to be appalled, because I was too when I watched this back during editing. I did wash my hands afterwards, but I really should have been using gloves. And then after that, I'll be coming back in here to do some of the last few like small miscellaneous things, like my nail shelf. I'm going to be taking all of the nail polish off of my shelf, cleaning it down, and then putting them back. But before putting them back, I'm going to be going through and making sure that some of them haven't completely dried up, because they have gotten really gooey. Hi Boomer, you gonna come hang out with me? There's no nug in here anymore, look. She might come in spirit, but she's not here physically. She can't hurt you, I promise. Hey, what's the matter? We're going through our nail polish. It's not anything that you would be interested in, but you're more than welcome to join me. I don't do nail art as often as I used to, and so, you know, my nail polishes just kind of sit there on the shelf, and especially during sunny days with the sun really hitting them, I think that affects the nail polish a little bit. So they've gotten really gooey and gross, and some of them I don't think are salvageable, but I'm basically going to be going through seeing which ones are salvageable and which are not, and then I'm going to be rejuvenating the ones that are salvageable with the solution that I bought the other day, and then I'll be setting aside the remaining ones that I am going to be giving to Zoya come the spring with their annual Earth Day trade-in program. Next on the list was my cork board. I normally have a lot more stuff on my cork board, but when Shorty, the last few weeks of her life, she was very obsessed with that dresser over there. And so, when she was sitting on it, especially with her little box that she decided she wanted to live in for the remainder of her life, stuff would fall off of it and things like that. And I was worried that they would fall behind the dresser, and so I just took a lot of it down so that she'd be more comfortable, because that was now her space. And I wanted her to be able to sit there comfortably without, knocking things over or things falling on her or in her little box. So I set all of those aside. Now that Shorty is gone, I figured I could redecorate my corkboard again and get it looking nice and organized. And finally, I think the moment that, I've been waiting for, I don't know about you, but this pile of to-go-throughs.
Good boy! See, that's great. See, you and I can sit together and do stuff together. Because I don't have Shorty to do stuff with anymore.
So I'm going to be going through those, deciding what is being kept, what can be thrown out, and what I'm still not quite sure about, because there always still seems to end up being a smaller pile of things that I'm not sure what I'm doing with. But we're gonna try to get that as small as possible so that then it can be easily put away in, I don't know, a drawer somewhere. I haven't figured that out yet where it would be going, but we'll get there when we get there.
Crafting stuff. Canvas. Okay. Oh, see what happens when you just go through things, Booby? You end up with so much, it's such a relief. Yeah. It's all the stuff I'm throwing out. Aren't you proud of me?
Ew. It's full of cat litter and stuff. These were Shorty's favorite. They're so filthy. She didn't play with them much. And all of these can go in the garbage because she never really did play with them. Well, I'll keep this guy because he's cute. He was supposed to be a decoration and then Shorty stole it, but... And finally, I wanted to tackle my purse. I just thought I would clean this out, clean out my wallet, get rid of a lot of those business cards and a lot of the things that I really just have been holding on to for no freaking reason, and just kind of putting the cards back where they're supposed to be and that kind of thing. And that brings us to the end of my week-long New Year's clean. I don't regret having taken a little bit of time every day to clean. I think that even though it would have been probably a little bit easier to just do it all in one go, I feel like doing a little bit every day felt really good and it felt productive, and I was still able to accomplish a lot of other tasks throughout the day because I was only cleaning for like an hour a day instead of it being like an entire 2-day thing. And I think it was easier on my body as well. I've been having a lot of health issues lately, so it wouldn't be very comfortable for me to do too much physical activity in one day. So Yeah, it was good. Because yesterday was a really dark and gloomy day and I didn't get my cleaning done until well after 9 o'clock, I took the time this morning to take some really nice daylight shots of my room, all clean and fresh for the new year. It feels so good to have a clean space. Like nothing beats having a clean home. Nothing beats having a clean room. And every time I clean my room, especially when I deep clean it, I'm really reminded of that all over again. I didn't get rid of and declutter as much as I wanted to or thought I was going to this time. There's a lot of things I definitely, especially decor wise, that I know in the future I'll be able to let go, and when I am moving out I will be getting rid of. But if I get rid of them now, then my room will end up being rather empty and feeling more like a space I'm just temporarily occupying than an actual bedroom. And because I don't know how long I'm going to be here for, I don't really want to be living like that. I want this space to feel comfortable and warm and like a place that feels like mine while I am here. I did get rid of a few small decor items, and I did throw out a lot of junk in terms of like that junk pile that I was keeping around, and I thought there was a lot more important stuff in there than there actually was. I think one thing that I'm really happy about is that normally, even when I do a big clean, I still end up with like a pile of things that I'm not sure what I'm doing with or that I still need to keep around. And this time I have literally nothing. The only thing I had left was my dress that needs to be hand washed, and I did that this morning, so that's just drying and now that's finished and it can be put away. I guess I shouldn't say that because there actually are a few things that are still lingering around. I've got these boxes of clothes that I'm selling on Poshmark that haven't sold yet, and so they're all stacked over here alongside a basket full of old antique bears that I'm not quite sure what to do with. I think you've seen enough of me cleaning my room, so by the end of this I don't think I ever need to film another room cleaning video again. It's just been so much. But yeah, so now that that is done, it's finished. That knocks off the big room clean off my list of things to do for the new year. I know it was probably a little bit boring, but I think that the new year really sparks something in people, makes them really want to start fresh and declutter and clean, and that's just what I felt like doing this week, and so I thought I would just share it with those who may be into that kind of thing. I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me for my deep clean of my room, and I will see you in the next installment of this series, probably the last, where I'll be doing a digital declutter.